Hey guys, today we are going to be doing a 2024 prediction of Kamala Harris versus Ron DeSantis. I'm surprised I haven't done this. I've seen this one a lot, and this is a pretty likely one. This is probably one of the most likely scenarios, I think, that can happen in 2024. I think it is highly likely. But, yeah, right now, as you can see, polling right now, well, obviously, Kamala Harris, I think, would dominate in the 2024 primaries if Biden didn't run. But I don't think she would really have any contenders, really. I think she maybe could run against Buttigieg and stuff, but and maybe AOC. But I don't think that there would be a lot of competition. I do think she would easily win. And Ron DeSantis, here's the poll right here. Without Donald Trump, of course, he is winning by a lot. He has 32.1%, and then Mike Pence is next with 17. And obviously, there is a lot of undecided voters. But I don't think I think Ron DeSantis. I think he has a I think the Republicans. Ron DeSantis is a rising star. That's what I'm going to say. He's frequently in the news media. Everybody that knows about politics knows his name. And right now, he's very look at this. Like the polls show him right now. He has a nice favorability, with Republicans. In experience is okay. Electability pretty good. Funds, and skills. This thing I think is really good at showing. This is one of the best. Whatchamacallit, I don't know what this for metric. I guess I don't know metric charts. I think this shows Ron DeSantis immediately. That's a really good. I've never seen this before. But I do think this is a really good thing that does show how he would do it. Kamala Harris would do bad. I think even Biden would do better than Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is unlikable. Many people do not like her. She even has a lower approval rating than freaking like Joe Biden, which says a lot. A lot of people don't feel like she does anything. People feel like she's not involved. People just don't like her. A lot of more progressive Democrats don't like her either. Like the political chatter, another YouTuber, he says he dislikes her a lot, and he would not vote for her. And I do think that Kamala Harris, I don't think she would be a good candidate, but I feel like she would run, and yeah, that's what I think would happen. But I feel like Ron DeSantis would be stronger. In 2024, we're gonna see a massive. If this scenario happened, there would be a massive switch of the blue collar workers that voted for Biden. I would say Biden overall in the election, I would say he won blue collar workers by 3 to 2 points. He didn't. He won by a lean margin. Those blue collar workers, and it was because about Trump's unlikability and everything going on. And right now, I think that the issues that we have, the issues that people are talking about, I guess, the major issues in 2024, I think that will be help the Republicans tremendously. Inflation helps, and everything else. Everything that makes Biden unpopular and the Democrats unpopular is going to be a major issue in 2024. But right now, let's do the safe states. Safe states for Kamala Harris, what I think would be Washington, Oregon. Oregon, I don't know why, but I think DeSantis might do. I think Kamala Harris would win by 9 points. But I do think Ron DeSantis might just get a little more voters, but, it is Oregon. It's not good Swift. Minnesota, I'm going to say that's going to be a swing state this election. So, Illinois, Hawaii, Virginia, I'm going to say 6 points for Harris. I'm going to give that to Harris by 6 points. I do think that she would do worse than Biden, but, there are those suburbs. I do think Virginia has a lot of people that would feel intrigued to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that, I don't know. Oh, New Hampshire. Forgot. I don't know. I'll do New Hampshire later. Okay, safe states for Ron DeSantis, obviously. Utah, Idaho, Wyoming. Obviously, all these safe states would be to go to him. I think he would do really well, though, overall. Okay, let's start with Nevada. I think Ron DeSantis would win Nevada by 6 points. No, I'm gonna say he would win it by 5 points. I don't know. I think I'll give it to DeSantis by 5. I'm gonna give it to him by lean ish. I want to give it to him by likely, but if obviously he wouldn't win it by like 9 points, but I think this state DeSantis would do well in. Ron DeSantis, he would do well overall with independent voters, the undecided voters. He would do well with them. He's just like one of those people that just somehow he just screams um independent voters from Wisconsin for some reason. And I do think Nevada also has a big Trump base. Obviously, the Trump base loves DeSantis for basically everyone. Yeah, basically everyone in the Trump base loves DeSantis. He's basically their favorite after Trump. They love DeSantis, and Trump would obviously, if he didn't run, I think he would endorse DeSantis, and I do think, well, obviously he would endorse DeSantis. I do think Ron DeSantis would do well in Nevada, and Kamala Harris, I don't think she has much appeal in Nevada to a lot of people. I don't think she would win by a lot. I just don't see her doing very well in Nevada. There's not a lot of people, and in Arizona, I think I'm going to give Arizona to the same. Actually, I'm gonna give it to Ron DeSantis by, yeah, I'm gonna give these states to him by 5 or 4 points. Like Arizona, I think Ron DeSantis would do well in. Basically, everything what I said for Kamala Harris. I mean, sorry, Ron DeSantis in Nevada would play here. Also, like, sorry, also like Ron DeSantis, those people that might have voted for Biden, I don't think would vote for Kamala Harris. Those people in Arizona that voted for Kamala Harris, I mean, sorry, not Joe Biden in 2020, because of Donald Trump being so unpopular, they would not vote for Harris. They would just not. Also, like all those like the suburbs like of Arizona too would just go for Ron DeSantis as well. I just don't see Kamala Harris having appeal in Nevada and Arizona. I just don't see her really having any appeal whatsoever in those states. Texas, safe state for DeSantis. These states will be the trickiest, I think. So I'm just gonna get back to those later and get to these. Florida, I'm just gonna give it to him by safe. I think Ron DeSantis would. Ron DeSantis would obviously do well. This is his home state, the Trump base. Florida, I think, has drastically changed. I think in 2016, well, I think in 2016 it could be considered a swing state. In 2016, 2012, obviously, ever since really the late 90s, early 2000s, Florida has become a swing state. I think that's changing. I just think that's not going to become a swing state at all. I think it's going to be a likely or safe state for the Republicans for the most part in the next couple of years. Florida, I think, has drastically changed. There are more old people. There's like more old people and more old retirees in those areas there, and also like a lot of the young folk. They also the young people. They also like Trump. Everybody likes Trump in Florida. So, and obviously DeSantis. DeSantis is pretty popular in Florida, and I just don't think the Democrats, overall in general, are going to do well in Florida in the next years, and maybe even the next decade. They will not do well in this state, I think. And Georgia, I'm going to give Georgia to lean, also to DeSantis by lean. Look, Georgia and North Carolina, I think they have a lot of the same politics. I do think Georgia is more like Florida, and then North Carolina is more like the states like, I don't know, New Jersey or something like that. But I do think that he would do well. Ron DeSantis, I do think he would win North Carolina by 4 points, even though Kamala Harris, I think, would do well with the minority vote, obviously. But I think Ron DeSantis would win by 4 points. Also, Georgia, I think he would win by 3. I feel like he would bring it back. He would bring these states in 2024 back to the Republican Party like they were in 2016 or in 2012. I think that they wouldn't really go to like in Georgia, Biden barely won. Kamala Harris, the people, she wouldn't bring anyone out. In every state, she just wouldn't bring anyone out. And I think Ron DeSantis, like in these southern swing states, they would be like, this guy, like the neighboring governor, I don't know how to explain it. I just think he would win there. Pennsylvania, I think I'm going to give Pennsylvania to him and lean too. I don't know. Pennsylvania used to be the ultimate swing state, I think. I don't know. Pennsylvania, I really don't know. Pennsylvania is like never, I don't know. Pennsylvania just goes with the waves, I guess. But Pennsylvania, I think would go to him and Lane. I think this because, you know, Kamala Harris is not doing well with it. All these people, the people in Scranton, all those areas, the people that went to Joe Biden, those blue collar workers, those white workers that absolutely went out. I mean, not absolutely went out, but have barely went to Biden in 2020 would not go for Kamala Harris and would abandon the Democratic Party in 2024 and would go to DeSantis. DeSantis, I think, would be really well with those blue collar workers. I think he'd do really well with those people who voted for Biden in 2020 barely and were undecided. He is basically the embodiment of a independence dream, I think. Also, New Hampshire, I'm going to give DeSantis New Hampshire by tilt. No, I don't know. New Hampshire, I usually give to the Democrats. I do think the Democrats usually win New Hampshire. But I do think DeSantis, he would do well. I don't know. I feel like he would do well with those voters that, Hillary Clinton barely won the state in 2016. She won less than a 1 point margin. So I think that Ron DeSantis, I do think he would do well with those Trump voters. Kamala Harris would not get those progressive voters that are in New Hampshire and Democratic voters in New Hampshire to go out and vote. And then Ron DeSantis voters Republican voters would obviously just go out for him and stay. While Kamala Harris, Democratic voters would not go to Kamala Harris, if that makes sense. Michigan is more Democratic blue collar state, I think. But I think Michigan I'm going to have to give to Ron DeSantis, also by lean. I'm just going to give all these states, except Wisconsin. Obviously, I'm just going to give that. Okay. For all these states, Ron DeSantis would do well in the suburbs of Michigan, I think a lot. Suburbs, I think near Detroit. I don't know. I'm not really good geographically about this stuff, though. But I do think he would get those suburbs in Michigan that voted for Trump in 2016. He would, I think, get those suburbs to vote for him. Ron DeSantis is just I don't know. This sounds. He would do well with white moms. Those moms scared about education, inflation, those egg prices going up or whatever. He would do well with those voters. I think Michigan would go well to him. Kamala Harris, I don't think would have much appeal to swing voters in all these states. In these blue collar states, there's literally Kamala Harris. There's no appeal for her in these states. She would not win at all. The most state she might have appeal in is maybe Minnesota, which I'll get to later. And Ron DeSantis, this is blue collar states is Independentville, USA, like I'm already saying. Wisconsin, I think he would win it by a likely margin because he would do well with independent voters. But overall, I've been saying this a lot. Blue collar workers that went to Biden in 2020 would switch to Ron DeSantis in 2024. Sorry, I had to do that positively. And that they just wouldn't. They would just inflation will help the Republicans. It just will. The only thing that what else was the other issue? Education too. Other domestic things, other social issues that Americans, I think, are going to be more conservative about will help the Republicans tremendously. And it's just for the couple of next years, I think this will help them a lot. And Minnesota, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give this to Ron DeSantis by 3 points. I'm from Minnesota. My channel's Minnesota Predictions. We all know this. Minnesota has the suburbs in Minnesota that maybe went to tilt or lean to Biden in 2020, which made him win. He won it by a safe margin, I believe. They would not go to Kamala Harris. I think there'd be dramatic change. I think they could even some of those could be likely. Not a lot, but some of those would be likely for DeSantis. But I think most of them would go lean for DeSantis. DeSantis would do well. Well, Kamala Harris might not even do that well in the Twin Cities metro. She'll obviously win it, but I don't think she'd do as well than people might expect. I just don't. Ron DeSantis, I think, would have appeal to many people. The people that are frustrated with the inflation and the people that are frustrated with the Biden administration overall. Kamala Harris would not get Democratic voters to go out for her. Okay, everything I'm saying about each state is basically everything overwide. In the whole country, Kamala Harris would not be popular. She would not do well with Democratic voters to get out and vote. They wouldn't vote for DeSantis, obviously, but they wouldn't vote for her. I don't think they would vote at all. They would just stay on the couch. Ron DeSantis would do well with blue-collar white workers that went to Biden in 2020 barely and were undecided. Ron DeSantis would do well with independent voters, and inflation and education and stuff like that will help the Republicans tremendously, and other issues that are Americans are going more conservative. This is just going to help them overall. And also, I have some polls I want to show. This poll is funny. Okay, look. This is a bad poll. It says Harris would win by 3 points. I think it'd be the other way around. I think DeSantis overall would win by 3 points. I think that'd be the most realistic popular vote. He would win by 3 points. The best case scenario for Kamala Harris is maybe, I think, would winning, if she wanted to, for her best case scenario, would be winning maybe Minnesota, New Hampshire by a lean margin, and winning Virginia by likely. But I think that would really just be it. And Oregon be safe. That would be the best case scenario for her. And it would still be a landslide, for DeSantis. And this is and I don't think this happened. It's just no one really likes Kamala Harris at this point, to be honest. No one really likes her. Her approval ratings are in the drain. And I just don't think she would be a strong candidate. I just don't. But this is what I think. I had a fun time doing this. I think I went off too much. I did take notes about this, so I took notes in my brain so I could know what to say during videos, because I go off and just say stuff over and over again. But I've lost them, so yeah, sorry about my repeated messages. I said a lot, but this is what I think the map would look like. Thanks for watching, guys. Tell me what you got. I don't really know who to do at this point. I did a lot of people I wanted to do and people that everyone else did. I just don't know who to do. So tell me in the comments, who do you want to do? I think I might do Joe Biden versus Donald Trump versus Andrew Yang. I was gonna do that one earlier, but I'm trying to still learn about more about it, what that scenario would be, so I can make a quality video. But yeah. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Comment down below, and yeah, see you guys again soon.